Expounding into Comics and Bleeding Fool are really good websites. They're kind of an alternative to Bleeding Cool and CBR and some of the other just far left-wing comic books sites, review sites, and media sites. This article, oh my gosh. Marvel Comics hires Overwatch writer Alyssa Wong after calling Marvel editor-in-chief Cebulski a racist. Ah, Cebulski, how do they do this? Cebulski, I think that you, as a Polish person, a person of color who's been historically marginalized and oppressed, you don't have the power to be racist. Now, this woman, Wong, as a wealthy Asian woman, actually, only in this relationship, she has the power to be racist. So actually, he actually can't be racist because of the power dynamic differential. Or that's how social justice warriors talk. Marvel Comics hired Overwatch writer Alyssa Wong after she previously called Marvel editor-in-chief Cebulski a racist. Okay, let's stop right there. Why would you do this? Why would you do this to your editor? What kind of company is this? It is a clown world company that makes garbage. In the October previews, Marvel Comics revealed Overwatch writer, Nebula Award winner. Well, if those Nebula Awards are anything like the Hugo Awards, it means they're absolute garbage. And every year they only go to women, transsexuals, or openly super queer people. I mean, like male hairdresser, gay, interior decorating gay, musical theater gay, just crazy gay people. Like Ethan Van Sciver's never going to get any of these types of awards. Mags Visaggio gets awards, and her books sell 1,000 issues. She has been co-writing Arrow stories with Pack. He's also an idiot. Greg Pak. You know how I've been telling you to follow the brilliant writer Wong, a.k.a. Crash Wong? He is co-writing the stories with me in the Arrow series, starting with issue 2. Check out the interview. Why would you need a co-writer for how many issues are that book selling? 18 people are talking about that. Wow, people are really enthusiastic about you, buddy. So we documented in November 2017, Wong attacked C.V. Cebulski and called him a racist after he revealed he had written under the Japanese pen name Akira Yoshida. Johnny Cowboy. That's not racist, you idiot. Okay. I know you're trying to change the definition of racism, but language evolves slowly over time. The approximate definition of racism is believing that due to immutable characteristics of race, one race is superior to another. That's generally the first definition of racism, the primary definition of racism. Writing under a pen name. People write under pen names all the time, and they're often of different cultures. That's not racism. That's nonsense. You're just making something up. You're making something up to get outrage clicks. In a now deleted tweet, archive link, she wrote, "White privilege doesn't exist, is participating in literary yellow face." Oh my God. Okay, first of all, Asian people aren't yellow. They're white. Their skin is literally, she's a little couple shades, he's Polish and she's, I guess Chinese or something. She's a couple shades darker than him, but she's not even as dark as some Portuguese, Spanish, or Greek or Italian people I know. So Asians, majority of Asians literally are as white as at least Southern Europeans, and some Asians are as white as Northern Europeans. They're a culture that believes in staying out of the sun because it kind of goes back to people who worked in the fields, got tan, and that just wasn't as respected as people who worked indoors, got a little bit lighter. So the white thing is kind of literal. That's why I don't use the term white or black. I try to use African American or European American, because the whole white thing is ambiguous, and it can be used as a club and a shield. White privilege is participating in literary yellowface, writing under an Asian pseudonym to lend authenticity to your fake Asian stories and advance your career while getting to dodge the racism and discrimination that Asian folks face every day. They don't face any racism and discrimination in America. They're the wealthiest people in America. According to SJW logic, wealth and power are privilege. So the wealthiest people in America are Asians, Indians, and Jewish people. Therefore, according to your logic, they're the only people who have the power and wealth to be racist. They're also overrepresented in politics and positions of power. Cebulski, a Polish person, is not. She would add, "We've seen this S before. It boils down to the same racist Orientalist BS. F you, guy." Oriental and Orientalist are not offensive terms, or it's the Oriental and Occidental, just terms for the East and West. Just things just aren't. The world isn't the way you think it is. And I think deep down, these people know that these people they're accusing of racism, they're not racist. They know that. They're just trying to get outrage clicks. It's just, please pay me attention. In a follow-up thread, Wong would describe Cebulski's use of the Akira Yoshida pen name as an anti-Asian racism. I think it's not anti-Asian, you twat waffle. He obviously respects Japanese culture enough to use the name and write stories. She deleted the tweet like a coward. A couple thoughts. CB Cebulski, Johnny Cowboy. Before I step away from social media for a while, yeah, you write like you're on your period all the time. People are complicated. Effing up doesn't cancel out the good work someone has done. This is really creepy. This is some deep Maoist social Darwin Marxism right here. But good work, well, he's a really good guy. Also doesn't erase the harm someone's done. No, it mitigates it. Surely you understand the concept of justification, excuse, and mitigation, don't you? This is why you get a ton of shocked, well, he was really nice to me. You know, here's the thing. If every day you go out and you find a-holes left and right, yeah, there's a certain number of a-holes out there, but if you're bumping into them, you might want to look in the mirror because you're probably the a-hole. Every time someone's ugly stuff gets exposed, well, using Japanese pen name is not ugly stuff, and it's certainly not racism. It's just nonsense. They're being nice shouldn't give them immunity to having to face their problematic behavior. What a word. If you look up the people who created this language, this manipulative language like problematic, well, it won't surprise you. There's a difference between dysphoria Asian, mainland Asian discourse. Well, what about the Cebulski's European dysphoria? When we talk about anti-Asian racism, almost doesn't exist. Maybe in the black community, there's some anti-Korean shop owner racism. If you remember the riots, I think in '91, the rooftop Koreans, they were standing up there with 223s and Uzis, keeping off the rioters. So if you want to talk about anti-Asian racism, commit to the bit, and you have to be honest. And it's from African Americans. It's not from anyone else. And African Americans who have Koreans running the liquor stores and stuff like that. The pressure to assimilate as dysphoria and the harm of cultural appropriation, another thing invented by the Marxists that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as cultural appropriation. Cultures diffuse and share. That's what humans have been doing for the past 10 million years since before they were humans. Listen to your Asian dysphoria friends. No. I'll listen to facts and reason and logic. People who are repeat offenders often mask their bad behavior. The intentional niceness. This is just nonsense. You're saying a nice guy. Cebulski is a nice guy, but he did one thing you disagree with, so it's time to burn his life down. Here's the thing about people on the left. There's zero loyalty and there's zero forgiveness. They will destroy you. If you step off the plantation, it doesn't matter if you're Muslim, black, transgender. Once you step off the plantation, you're the enemy. They go after Blair White, who is not a hardcore right-wing person, but because she's transgender, and she's, I guess, kind of slightly right of center, moderate, they attack her. And she's a transgender, supposed to be the most oppressed and marginalized. Probably, yeah, if you're in the Middle East or Africa, definitely transgender is not a safe job to have. So she's talking about how nice he is, but he did one thing, and it's time to destroy him. They do folks favors. They make connection. They appear generous. So you're saying he's a nice guy? My God. Here's the thing. When nice people do one thing that offends you, you forgive and forget and you move on. They do this so when stuff comes to light, they know they'll be protected. Okay, you're just a sociopath on her period. One way you can take concrete action in response to this Cebulski BS is to let Marvel know how effing up this is. Put pressure on by making your voices heard. Well, Marvel probably approved of it because I assumed they knew who he was, right? So Marvel's saying it's not a big deal. Go to Japan. Ask 100 Japanese people if what Cebulski did was cool. The vast majority of them are going to say they don't give a rat's ass. And the ones who do care will say, oh, yeah, it's fine. You go right. When we come to America, we'll write like Johnny Cowboy. It's okay. We can share cultures. Dysphoria, who cares? It's quite a shock that Marvel Comics would hire someone who outright attacked their editor-in-chief by calling him a racist. Yeah, that's not a healthy company. You just gave the middle finger to Cebulski. If he had any pride, he would quit, move on to something else. Maybe he should start Indiegogo, jump on the Indicron. It's even more shocking when Cebulski stated that breaking into and staying into comics in any capacity is just as much about attitude as it is about ability. And there is his tweet right there. I will check that out in a minute. It was 2017. It shouldn't be. It should be about merit and hard work. Attitude is what gets people like Gail Simone and Mags Visaggio in comics. People who don't have the ability. Actually, Gail Simone does have the ability to write, but she has the chip on her shoulder is overwhelming. But she has written some things that are funny, and she can use sexual humor to great effect. So she can be kind of naughty and dirty and make it funny when she takes the chip off her shoulder, but she can't. She's such a misandrist. She really, really has issues. But Mags Visaggio is just not very good yet. There's potential, but again, Mags also has a chip on her shoulder. I guess we know now what kind of attitude Marvel's looking for in the comic book creators. Visited 2,500 times. I think when I checked it this morning, it was visited 11 times. My God, this guy really took off. Let's see if there are any comments. I guess Bounty into Comics doesn't have comments. Bleeding Fool does, and they're hysterical. Anyway, this is not the sign of a healthy company. This is a company in decline. They have to know they're in decline. The more I think about this, Cebulski, why would you stay working for a company like that? Anyway, like, comment, and subscribe.